Hello everyone, today we will open up the final guild pack, Simic. And as you can see from the thumbnail of this video, I love Simic. I approve it. Oh, yes, Simic, the mad scientists of Ravnica. So let's take a look what's in here. They're blue and green. Well, they're not really the mad scientists, is it? These are just scientists, evolutionary scientists. There we have their little folder. Yeah, we have a sticker, of course. A deck box that can contain a sleeved 60 card deck. We have the pin. Beautiful. And a die. And it's quite a shame that they didn't do any blue letters, maybe that kind of blue. Instead we just have a what appears to be a Selesnya die, but ugh, no. Well, alright. We have our face card here, Zegana, the Utopian Speaker, which is a 4-card 4/4. And when Zegana enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, draw a card. And for 6 you can adapt 4. Adapt is if this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, put 4 +1/+1 counter on it. And each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. Very cool. Yeah, this guild works a lot with +1/+1 counters. We'll see that in a moment. First of all, we will see their little booklet. Art, there's Zegana, the logo. Deck list, and here we have Simic Combine Research Practices. Analyze every living thing you see, from the smallest tadpole to the mightiest dragon. Each one holds unique secrets of life, ready to be unlocked through careful study. You may modify your own body as you see fit, excluding the list of Class 4 restricted appendages. However, a modification of another's body without their express permission will not be tolerated. Learn to see the patterns all around you. Let them illuminate truths that transcend species. When you study a life form, identify its weaknesses, then eliminate them. If you engineer an aquatic creature, remember to include gills. This can be surprisingly easy to overlook. It is nature's job to create life. Ours is to perfect it. Well, having read this eerily sounds like the perfection, the completion techniques of Phyrexia. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take a look at what's in the deck here. Right. So, we start off with a Gyre Sage. It's a 2-mana 1/2 with Evolve. Yeah, we just read what it was, right? No, wait, that was Adapt. Evolve is something different. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And they can tap it and add green for each +1/+1 counter on Gyre Sage. Pretty nice. Then we have a Vinelasher Kutsu. For 2 it's a 1/1, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Vinelasher Kutsu. Vorel of the Hulklade. For 3 it's a 1/4, and then if you tap and pay 2, you can double the number of each kind of counter on target artifact, creature, or land. See how it doesn't say Planeswalker. Very nice. Yeah, that's pretty awesome as well. Ah yes, Cytoplast Rootkin from the original Dissension set where Simic was first introduced. I remember it very vividly. Oh. Right, it was a 0/0 for 4 mana with Graft 4. Graft was one of my, and is still one of my favorite abilities in Magic of all time. So it enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may move a +1/+1 counter from this creature to that creature. So that's pretty cool. And when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Then for 2 you can move an additional one back. Yeah. No, for 2 you can move a +1/+1 counter back from target creature you control onto C2+ Rootkin. Then we have a Fathom Mage for 4, it's a 1/1 with Evolve, and whenever a +1/+1 counter is put on a Fathom Mage, you may draw a card. This was also the pre-release card for Gatecrash back in the day when Simic was reintroduced in the Return to Ravnica block. Omnibian. Oh, I loved this card when it was way back 2005, I believe. So yeah, for 4 mana we have a 3/3, and if you tap it, target creature becomes a frog with base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. Then we have Momir Vic, the Simic Visionary with its art from the Vault, Legends. Very cool to see a non-foil piece like this. So yeah, this is a 5 mana 2/2. He used to be the guild leader back in the olden days. Whenever you cast a green creature spell, you may search your library for a creature card and reveal it. If you do, shuffle your library and put that card on top. Then if you cast a blue creature spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. So yeah, basically if you play a multicolor card, blue and green, you can do both. So you can first look it up and then take it directly to your hand. Very powerful. Progenitor Mimic for 6 is a 0/0, and you may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Except it has, at the beginning of your upkeep, if this creature is in the token, create a token that's a copy of this creature. Cool. Experiment Crash. Oh, I love this card as well. Oh, this really reminds me of when I started, well, not when I started playing, but when I first started playing Commander. So yeah, it's a 6 mana for 6, and it has all activated abilities of each other creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. And if you tap it, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. See how it doesn't say your creatures, so you can put a +1/+1 counter on one of your opponent's creatures that you need the ability of. Very cool card. Simic Sky Swallower. Oh, I used to have 4 of these in my old Simic deck back in Dissension. It's a 7 mana 6/6 flying, trample and shroud. Simic Ascendancy, a new card. For 2, it's an enchantment. With the ability for 3, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, put that many growth counters on Simic Ascendancy. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Simic Ascendancy has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. That's pretty awesome. Void Slime. Oh, my favorite counterspell from back in those days as well. It's for 3 counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. This is actually the first card that combines Stifle with a regular counter. Before that, we only had Stifle to counter an activated or triggered ability. Yeah, or one of those morphs from the Onslaught block. But never a card that combined all of this. Very cool. Guardian Project. For 4, it's an enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control, or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card. So those are the rares and mythics of the Simic deck. Now we continue on to the tokens. We have oozes, 5 oozes, and 5 frog lizards, which are 3/3. These are star. Right, on to the uncommons. We won't be discussing much of them. We have an Experiment 1, Cloudfin Raptor ×2, Coiling Oracle. Oh, I love this card. 2 times. We have 2 times Zamek Guildmage, an Elusive Krasis, Plexcaster Frogling, Trigon Predator, awesome card, really awesome, Skitter Eel, Frilled Mystic, Trollbred Guardian, Galloping Lizfrog, Nimbus Swimmer. Then we go to the Simic Guild Kit. We have 2 arts of that, just like any other of these guild decks. And Simic Growth Chamber, 4 times. Then we have the Simic Islands over here. And the Simic Forests over here. Rapid Hybridization. Nice card, pretty powerful. We have 2 of these. not too shabby. And we have 2 Simic Signets. We have an Applied Biomancy, a Miming Slime, and an Urban Evolution. We don't have a Simic Charm. Or a Simic Keyroom. Well, not every deck has those. So, thank you all for watching. This was the Simic deck, my favorite. And this concludes the whole Guild Kit series that I have. So thank you all for watching and see you guys next time. Bye bye.